Andy Scott talks about Sweet's very underrated drummer, Mick Tucker. I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music. Mick Tucker was one of my favorite drummers of the 70s, and he usually doesn't come up on the top 10 lists or top 20 or even top 50 list of 70s drummers, but he was talented. We talked to Andy Scott about Mick Tucker.
You were mentioning Set Me Free, that and Into the Night back to back on, I remember, Desolation Boulevard. I was very impressed with Mick Tucker. I remember going, this is the most underrated drummer in the world, especially on...
I absolutely agree with that.
Like in the beginning of Into the Night, when he's doing that little root, I'm listening to that, I'm going, no other rock drummer's doing that. Who's doing that?
I've had this conversation with a few people. I've heard people have a go at some Sweet tracks, and especially the intro for Ballroom Blitz, that rolling shuffle. The only person who I think has got close to something like that would be one of the old jazz drummers like that Buddy Rich, because he could do anything, and Sandy Nelson. The old with the big toms and everything. So yeah, Mick, him and Ian Pace in the 70s used to have lovely little chats when they met. Because he'd go, "I heard what you did on your last record," and Mick would go, "Yeah, I'm still picking up what you did on Burn." Yeah. And it would be fun to watch. Them sparring a little bit. Yeah, Mick. He could have been a top drummer in any band.
Was he shy, or was that just during interviews? He seemed somewhat reserved. I mean, I watched a reunion video when you guys all got together after a lot of years, including Brian as well. I mean, Brian didn't look good, but we knew what was going on there. But Mick just seemed sort of a little reserved. But was he that way?
He was a cross between Animal from Sesame Street and like a mad Hooray Henry. He had all of those attributes. A friend of mine who still works with me on video stuff and helping, so in fact, he's Kevin. He's the guy who was the in-between with us. Yeah. He said it depended, because he was our tour manager for a little while on the road, until it all got a bit crazy for him. But he said, "I wonder which Mick Tucker's woken up this morning." That was his little thing. And I said, "Well, you go and check before I get involved." There was one moment, we were coming back from London. We'd seen Mike Chapman with his new Mercedes, and Nicky Chinn came from Money anyway, and he had a Corniche convertible roller. Phil Wainman was buying himself a Bentley, and we all kind of went, sod this, mid 73.
Was this after number one with Blockbuster?
After Blockbuster, yeah. I think we had Hellraiser also going up to number 2 or something. I said, right, we're all in the car, and we stopped. Mick had already started to say he was buying a 600 Mercedes, the 6-litre Mercedes, because he'd seen Eric Clapton driving one. Steve and I said, well, we want Silver Shadows. And there was a dealership on the road back to where we were living at the time. And we told the driver to pull in there. We steamed in. What have you got? Steve went, I'll have that one. And I went, I'll have that one. We didn't drive them home there and then, but we wrote some checks out and left it with them. They said we just need a day or two to prepare it. Next thing I knew, we were having them delivered at our houses. We bought them out of the band's money. Nicky Chinn threatened to take our checkbook away. And we basically told him to, politely, the second word's off. And it was at this point where Phil Wainman was laughing his head off, because he could see what was coming. And being an ex-musician, he knew what was on the cards. And then we started to break into America. And of course, me, kid in a candy shop, New York, 48th Street, straight down there. I'm going home with guitars after every tour, and we're talking late 50s, early 60s Stratocasters and 335s, and it's fantastic.
There'll be links to everything that is Sweet, or The Sweet, as they say in the UK, in the description of this video. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music.